Hello, welcome. Bob and I are back again. Seems like a while since I've been here to do a recording. Started in our first lockdown in New Zealand, Aotearoa, and then we were enjoying the warm, sunny weather of the end of summer, making outside videos very easy to make. However, since we moved out of our lockdown and resuming more normal work patterns, it always seemed the days when I was here it was either cold or rainy, so not so inspired to come out to the garden to do a recording. And here, as we are in another lockdown, as we find ourselves, and on such a beautiful day, could feel like a summer's day, even though we're still deep in winter weather. The ground's very wet, but it's lovely to be here. Lovely to be here in the blue sky and sunshine, with all the wonderful animals around. So I wanted to do something very gentle and easy today. I always like to feel that I want to share things that are very inclusive for everyone. And in these times we can feel a little bit stressed, and unusual circumstances that we find ourselves in. It's always difficult to judge stress of anyone else because we're such individual people, and what feels stressful to one person may be very different type of stress to another. But in these interesting different times, different things that seem uncertain to us may give us a little bit of a wobble. And just like how in life we try to protect ourselves from certain things, like earthquake proofing buildings, making walls to protect against high tides, protecting from those things that we see could happen. Sometimes there are forces or circumstances around us that may give us a little wobble, and therefore coming to some simple things, focusing on the breath, calming the nervous system, can just help to wobble-proof us from different things that we may encounter in life. And so the focus here today is for a little bit of wobble-proofing. We have a wonderful system within the body, the nervous system, and our nervous system has two different elements. Our fight and flight mode, which helps to protect us against things that we maybe need some superpower from, maybe need to run away or have a fight with a bear. And then we have our parasympathetic nervous system, which is what helps us to calm down. It lowers our blood pressure, it helps to nourish the digestive system, relax muscle tensions, many other things that are soothed through the parasympathetic, which is what is finding our natural balance as a human. And I often say to clients and yoga students, one of the best ways that we can access that parasympathetic and bring ourselves back to balance is the focus upon the breath. And so I'll begin with a simple breathing exercise and then take you through some gentle movements, which I encourage you to, as much as possible, bring your awareness to the breathing so that that can help to anchor your mind. And so when you have the focus of the breath, the focus of the movements, it gives an opportunity to relax the mind, to clear a little in the thoughts, in the chattering of the thoughts, and to help the thoughts to subside a little so that you can find balance, find a little clarity and focus. So I hope you enjoy today. My intention is to share this with you. If it's not something that interests you, that's totally okay. Everyone's different. Different things work for different people. I wish you the very best and much love and peace within your life. Namaste. So taking a comfortable seated position, as I always say, comfort is the most important thing. Sometimes people see the cross-legged position and think that to sit in the cross-legged position is more of a meditation posture, and therefore they try to strive to do it when there may be tension in the hips or the back that just isn't feeling very comfortable. So if we're having a tension or a pain, then it's just going to keep irritating the mind. So the most important thing is to be comfortable in how you're sitting. So you may like to extend your legs. You may like to kneel upon a bolster. I like to take a bit of height under the hips. When we elevate a little in the hips, it helps to lift and lengthen the spine, particularly if you find when you sit down you get a rather slouchy, rounded lower or upper back. So once you've made yourself comfortable in your seated position, then let the hands come to relax. You may like to rest them on the legs. I quite like with the palms up, as it has a sense of receptiveness within the hands. You may prefer to have the palms down, particularly if you're not feeling so grounded, just gently pressing into the legs to give you some grounding. Also, another option is to fold the hands within the lap, quite usually the left hand supporting the right, to encourage more of the passive, gentle feminine, whatever works for you. So once you're sitting comfortably, allow the eyes to close and just give a little downwards tip through the nose so the back of your neck can lengthen. Allow the eyes to relax. Bringing a softness into your jaw. Let the shoulders release away from the ears. And then we'll bring the awareness down to the legs and pelvis. And focusing particularly on your exhalation and encouraging your legs and pelvis to become heavy with every exhalation. As though the legs are melting in towards the ground. Also, when we focus on the exhalation, that's the very soothing aspect of our breath. It's the feminine aspect of the breath, and that is the aspect that helps our body to relax. So without force, just being a bit more aware of the exhalation as the legs are relaxing. And you may find that as you continue to focus in that way, that it begins to have a sense of soothing and a sense of you coming to settle to your awareness of the body, to your awareness of the breathing, the awareness of the present moment. then whilst keeping your legs heavy, begin to slightly draw your ribs a little upwards, just for elongating the spine, giving an alertness to the main energy channel through the center of the body, through the spinal column. Let the head float upwards as though just floating like a helium balloon floating upon the shoulders. And we're going to bring the awareness down again to the very base of the spine, if you think of the very bottom of the tail. And then as you inhale, imagining your breath is flowing up the front of the spine, the front of the face, till you reach the top of the head. And then as you exhale, that the breath is flowing down the back of the head, the back of the spine, until it loops back under the base of your spine to begin your inhalation again. And as you do that, you may like to count the breath so that it's 4 counts as you inhale, rising the breath up the front, and 4 counts as the breath falls down the back of the head and spine. Just knowing your own breath and timing your counts evenly across the pace of your own breathing. If your mind begins to wander, just quickly release whatever thought has arisen. Come back again to the focus of the breath. And then if it feels comfortable for you, as the breath goes over the top of the head, before the exhalation, just pausing for a count or 2, and then allowing the 4 counts to fall down the back of the body. And as the awareness loops under the base of the spine, pausing the breath again for a count or 2, before rising the breath back up for 4 counts along the front of the body. But if this doesn't feel good for you, if you have high blood pressure, you may prefer not to include that count, that pause. So if the pause doesn't feel good, just stick with the regular pattern of the breathing. The breath should never feel as though it's being forced, as that can just bring more agitation to the mind. And we're going to complete 3 more rounds of breath in this way. just keeping the breath at its same smooth, steady pace. When you've completed your 3 rounds, and there's no need to hurry, just when your 3 rounds have completed, bringing the breath back to a normal breathing pattern. And then we'll join the hands together in front of the body, keeping the shoulders relaxed away from the ears. On an exhalation, we'll gently bow the head forwards towards the fingertips. And whilst your head is forwards, you might like to use this as an opportunity to create a positive intention, or maybe selecting a positive word, single word to focus on that inspires you. Just whatever feels right for you in this moment. And then we'll let the hands come back to relax on the legs. Slowly restack the head in line with the spine. And when you're ready, letting the eyes gently flutter to open. Just allowing the eyes to have a softness. So there's a softness in your gaze, helping to relax the face. We often hold a lot of our tensions within the face, in the jaw, in the eyes. So it's always good when we are bringing the mindfulness to the body, to the breathing, to keep on coming back to the face and checking that everything is relaxed. So if your legs are crossed, you might like to now change the crossing of your legs. If you're sitting with the legs extended or kneeling, you might like to just change your position if the legs are feeling a little tight, being in the one spot. So from here, we're going to just bring in a little bit of movement, and with that we're going to just have a wonderful acknowledgement of the elements and how they all combine together within the body. A great way of bringing the focus to the breath as well. An appreciation of the physicality of our body, the physicality of the surrounding world. So we're going to begin with the palms extended out to the side. And as you inhale, acknowledging appreciation for the air, bringing that air, that wonder of thought into the head. And then as you exhale, touching to the heart, the fire, the belly, the water, and letting that soften into the legs and the earth. And then as you inhale, raising the arms up, bringing that air, that inspiration to the head. Exhale, appreciation for the fire, for the water, for the earth, going down to the ground. Inhale, exhale, bringing down to the fire, to the water, to the earth, the skeleton, the sturdiness of our body. Inhale, bringing the air in, the inspiring thought, the fire that gives us the action and motivation, the feelings within the water, and the stability within the earth. And one more time, inhale and exhale. Just taking a moment, keeping the hands rested on the legs. And then on our next inhalation, we'll bring the arms up, taking them above the head, keeping the arms at least shoulder width apart, softening down through the shoulders so they're not scrunching into the ears. Take a moment to spread the palms, spread the webbing of the fingers, letting the life force enliven all the way to the fingertips. And then we're going to bring the arms to be level with our shoulders, bending into the elbows to touch the shoulders and making some big circles with the elbows, warming up into the shoulder joint, bringing us some looseness when we feel a little stressed out. All that tension can tend to gather in the shoulders. With all my massage clients, I can find that that is the area where everyone usually says they're holding their tension. Not always, but pretty often. And we'll go back out to the side and then bringing them in the opposite direction. Just letting the breath flow smoothly. Remember the anchoring of the mind to the breath to help let go of the chattering thoughts. And just giving yourself that time, that space, that peace, that sense of clarity. And one more circle, and we'll let the arms relax. And from here we're going to just move if there's anything under, or if you need to keep it there. I like to come a little bit lower on the ground. You might just prefer a folded blanket now. Excellent. So what we'll do is we'll have the legs so that they're extended forwards. So we're going to have them at hip width apart. A good flexion in the feet, keeping the back of the heels connected to the ground. If you have very flexible knees and the ankles can rise up, that means that you're pushing a bit too much back into the knee joint, which can be quite detrimental for the knee. So a good way of making sure you're not doing that is to keep the heel firmly pressed down to the floor. So we'll take a moment in Dandasana, which is staff pose. Dandasana meaning the staff pose. So we're imagining we're as upright as the staff. So the nose comes a little downwards, the navel drawing back to the spine, a gentle press through the hands, keeping the pelvis heavy whilst the upper back lifts up away from the back of the pelvis. And then keeping that sense of upright, we'll release our hands. We're going to bring the left knee in towards the thigh bone. So we want to keep it more in line, so there's a bit of space between our inner right thigh and the inner left foot. Take hold, have a little hug, lift yourself up, use the thigh to help create that length. Then from here we'll take our right hand back behind because we're coming into a twist. So the fingertips to the floor, then raising the left arm up, finding length through the body, bringing that left arm into the inner left leg. Press them firmly together, using that to stabilize, softening the right elbows. You gently revolve around to turn towards the right side, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, lengthening the neck up through the back of the head so the jaw is level to the floor, keeping the face relaxed. You might like to close the eyes, softening the jaw, softening the face, anchoring the awareness to the breathing. You can sometimes find when you come to a twist that the breathing gets a little held. So just settling into the breathing, let it begin to relax and extend again. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. And slowly rotating back towards the front. Sitting tall. Let the hands come behind the back of the left thigh so that then the left foot can elevate. So this is a good move as it helps to track the knee in a nice line. So it's good remedy if there's tension, if there's discomfort in the knee joint. So we just let that leg lengthen and bend, lengthen and bend, keeping the spine nice and long, so you might find you need to lean back a little. And on our next lengthen, we're going to pause. We'll take a couple of rotations through that foot, and then we'll go with the other direction. And then let the leg bend, re-extend, taking the buttock flesh back, coming back into our Dandasana, hands lining up with the top of thighs, nose tipping down a little, navel drawing back, relaxing the shoulders down the back, finding your center, finding the length in the spine. Now taking your right knee, bringing the right heel in towards that inner thigh, the top of the thigh bone, holding the right thigh, giving yourself a little squeeze, a little hug, letting the body lengthen up. Taking the left hand back behind now, and then we'll extend up through our right arm, bringing the inner arm to the outer arm to the inner thigh, pressing the two together to use that to rotate to the left side. So letting the head follow the twist, rotating the body from right to left, softening into the face, the eyes closing, the jaw loose, tuning into the soft, steady movement of the breath. And we'll take 3 more slow breaths here. On an inhalation, gently rotating back to face towards the front. And then we'll take hold behind the back of the knee, lifting the heel away from the floor, just lengthening the spine a little backwards, and gently lengthening and bending through that right knee, bringing a good mobility into that knee joint, helping to release any tension there. And then when you're next bringing the leg to lengthen, holding it up there. If you need, keep the knee bent, and making some circles with the foot, rotating, creating good mobility into the ankle joint, stimulating the synovial fluid to cushion and keep the joints mobile and smooth. We'll go in the other direction now. And then letting the knee bend, bringing the heel in. We're going to take the left knee in as well, so that we've got both knees squeezed in, wrapping the arms around the legs, squeezing in tight, ready to come into our cosmic egg. So slowly bowing the head forwards, not collapsing the head, just letting the chin tilt towards the chest. You might like, whilst you close yourself inwards, to take a moment picking something of appreciation for yourself, taking a moment to focus on that element with full focus, settling into that vibration of self-appreciation. Gently re-emerging as the head lifts, and we're going to let the knees open out, firstly drawing the heels as close to the hips as feels comfortable. If you need, have a little support under the outer thighs. We'll bring the hands back behind just to create a little bit of opening, Baddha Konasana. So the reason we are going to recline back is just that can make it a little bit more easy to access. Feel free if you wanted to say sitting tall, just take a moment, a couple of breaths here, using gravity to relax the inner thighs outwards. And then we'll slowly begin to lift up, and we're going to extend the heels further away to come into what is called our tortoise position. So it is a strong opening for the hips. If your hips are very tight and you feel this is not comfortable, you might just like to do something now that feels comfortable for you. If you felt okay with keeping the legs up like this, you might like to just bring a bolster underneath the knees for a little bit of support. This is a variation if it's not so comfortable, and you might like to just take a moment with the hands back behind. So from here, what we'll do is we'll all bring the fingers back, but if you're okay, instead of leaning back, now we'll begin to press a little bit forward. So you're lengthening forwards a little towards the direction of the legs. So just starting there, taking a moment, and this may be, again, your position for you. If you're okay, we're going to take the hands to be underneath the lower legs, and we're just going to wrap the hands towards the shins. So again, it's important, everyone's built differently, particularly usually the hips is where we can have quite a broad range of motion from one person to another. So just be careful, take it easy. Just when you feel comfortable, if you feel comfortable, begin to soften yourself further and further towards the direction of the floor. But you don't have to go too far. When you feel you've reached your maximum, just let the head gently bow so the chin rounds towards your chest. So you're like a tortoise, drawing yourself inwards. Being aware fully of the breathing. Just like how a tortoise draws its awareness inwards into itself, away from the outer world. You too, taking yourself inwards, bringing yourself into that well of inner peace and calm. If there's any comfortable tension, so we never want a tension to be painful, but as though there is a comfortable stretch that's happening, just using the exhalation where you feel the tension, imagining that tension releasing with your breath. And we're going to take 3 more breaths here. And then after you've completed your 3 breaths, just slowly bringing yourself back out into the world, sitting tall. We'll bring the feet back down to the floor, the hands just behind us, turning the fingers out, moving the shins from side to side as though they're like windscreen wipers. And then we'll walk the hands back up towards the knees, and from here we're going to come down to lie upon the back. So if you wanted a bolster nearby for either support in a reclining twist, or if you wanted it for underneath your knees when we come to relaxation, just having that close. If you need any blankets for keeping warm or support under the head, also having them close too. So I'm just going to turn a little, as I think it would be better for the visual for the camera. So what we're going to do is have the feet at hip width. If you need support, have the hands to the floor to roll back, or even if you have any issues with the back, come to the side and roll to the back in that way. Otherwise, we'll do a little abdominal strengthening on the way down. We'll have the fingers reaching forwards, taking a deep breath in. As you exhale, just go a little bit and pause. Take a deep breath, go a little bit more and pause. Deep breath in, go a little bit more, pause, just going within the range of motion, and then releasing all the way down. Isn't that lovely? So delicious to come to the ground. So we'll just bring the feet a little bit closer, and that's just to help the hip flexors to soft so everything can feel relaxed. Let the eyes close for a moment. Take a moment to just really allow the back of the body to melt into the ground. Let the pelvis release. Use the exhalation to relax it to the floor. Using the exhalations to relax the shoulders. And the exhalation to relax the back of the waistline. And in our next movement, if there's any issues in the neck, you may prefer to keep the head still. Otherwise, we're going to take a deep breath, and as you exhale, rolling the knees towards the right side as the head rolls towards the left. Keeping on the back of the head as you roll up to center on the inhalation, and then taking the head to the right side as the knees go the opposite way to the left. Inhale, coming back to center, the head going back to the left as the knees go to the right. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale the other way. Just going a couple more times at the pace of your own breath. Remembering our focus today is gentleness, ease, softening and helping our nervous system to relax so that our body's own natural healing mechanism, its own way of finding the balance, comes back. And once you've been an even amount of times to both sides, then we'll come back and find our center. And then easing into the lower back, we're going to bring the right knee in towards the body as the left leg slides away, holding your shin, pressing out through that left foot, squeezing the right knee as close as you can. This is a great one for digestion. If you're feeling any discomfort in the digestive system or the lower back, this could be a really good remedy for you. And then we're going to open the arms overhead, lengthen the right leg away as we inhale, coming to a full body stretch. Softening the back of the waistline towards the floor And then changing over, bringing our left knee in, holding the shin, squeezing that knee. Just moving that in towards the body, giving our digestive organs a gentle massage. And on the inhale, let the arms reach out, the foot reach away, coming back to our complete stretch. And exhale, bringing the right knee in. And now we'll go with the breath. So inhale, open. Exhale, bring left knee in. Inhale, open. Just going back from side to side at the pace of your own breath. When we bring a movement that combines with the breath together, it's a really helpful mechanism. We've got 2 points of focus for our awareness, so it's really good for helping to clear the mind. Sometimes in life we feel we need to make things difficult, and actually the easy path can be just as effective, if not more so. So we're going to finish when the left knee next comes in towards the body, going back to our complete stretch, lengthening the arms, lengthening the legs away, and then bringing the arms back down to the side. From here we're going to come into what's nicknamed banana asana, creating a banana shape with the body. So we're going to walk both heels, both legs, over towards the right side as far as you feel comfortable, keeping the body to the ground. We're using the ground to help keep the body as much in a line, so we're creating a lateral opening for our spine. So we're going to raise the arms and then the arms are going to go the same way as the feet. So we're going to walk the upper body and arms over to the right side. So we have a slight crunch through the right and an opening through the left side. You might like to hold thumbs to help stabilize the left shoulder to the ground, or even cross one ankle over the other to help stabilize the legs. Taking some slow breaths here, lengthening and opening through our left side, which helps to give an opening through the spleen. Also helping to open the spine laterally. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. And walking the arms back to center, bringing the legs back to center, resting the arms alongside the body, just taking a look, check everything's back in line, and then resting back in a central position. Let the eyes close, take a moment to relax. And then we'll bring the arms back overhead, starting by walking the feet and legs over to our left side this time, as far as is comfortable, and then moving the upper body to the left side, so there's a slight crunch through the left side and an opening through the right. So here we create space and bring rejuvenation to the liver, keeping the right shoulder softening towards the floor, so as much as possible both sides of the body are staying down to the ground. Finding a smoothness with your breath. And then we'll take 3 more breaths here. And then moving the upper body back to center, moving the legs back to center. Let the arms float back beside the body. Have a little check that everything's in line, and then take another moment to relax, using the exhalation to fully soften your body towards the ground. And then from here, we're going to bring the feet down to the floor. And we're going to come into a gentle reclined twists. Our twists are really beneficial for the nervous system. They really help us to relax, to find release through the nervous system, help to balance the nervous system. So they're really good if any stress or anxiety is present, to help relieve that. So bringing the arms out so that they're in line with your shoulders. And what we're going to do is we're going to off-center our hips and then take the knees in the opposite direction. So just having the feet quite close to your bottom, press your feet so the bottom lifts a little away from the ground. And then we'll just take a moment, have a little swing as though you're a hammock that's gently swinging in the breeze, or swinging with a gentle rock of a boat, just swaying from side to side, releasing any tension in the lower back. And then when you're ready, we're just going to let our hammock swing to the left side, hold it there, push it down to the ground. So our hips are off-centered to the left. Lift the feet now, let the knees go the opposite way to the right. Make sure you keep your left shoulder firm to the ground. If the knees don't easily come down or it's not comfortable, take some support either underneath your outer right leg or even in between both knees. You can either let the head turn to your left side, or if the neck isn't so comfortable, if there's tension in the neck, you may prefer to keep it upright, so that the back of the head is to the ground. Let the abdominals and the legs relax. Keep a firmness across your upper back, lengthening out gently to the fingertips from the center of your heart. So you create as much space across the chest, using the upper back to anchor your twist. Let the face and jaw be relaxed. You may like to close the eyes and just bring the full awareness to the breathing. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. And then on an inhalation, gently rolling your knees back to center. Once the feet are back to the floor, press to bring the hips back to center. Have a moment there, letting everything be back in one line. And then when you're ready, we'll press the feet to lift and create our hammock again, gently rocking our hammock a few times from side to side. And then let the hammock swing to the right, place it down to the ground, lift the feet, let the knees go to the left. Keeping the right shoulder firm to the ground, opening out across the chest and arms. Relaxing the face, finding the steadiness of the breath to anchor you. the mind begins to wander, just bring the full awareness again back to the breathing, softening the abdomen, softening the legs. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. And after your 3rd breath is complete, gently rolling the knees back to center. Once the feet are to the floor, pressing to bring the hips back to center. After a couple of breaths with the body back in a straight line, then we'll bring the knees into the body. Have a good squeeze of the knees. You might like to gently rock from side to side, giving a gentle massage to the lower back, massaging the digestive system. And then bringing the feet down to the floor. Let the arms relax so that they're a comfortable distance with the palms facing up. Let the legs extend one at a time so the feet are comfortably apart. If you wanted, taking a bolster or cushion underneath the knees or a blanket under the head for support. If it's uncomfortable for your lower back with legs extended, just let the feet flatten down so there's a bend in the knee, which will bring a bit more softness to your lower back. So I'm going to sit up as it will be easier for me to talk through your relaxation. If you had wanted to come to a seated meditation, also feel free to do that as well. Otherwise, allowing the body to fully relax. Let your eyes close. And bringing the full conscious awareness to your breathing. On your exhalations, sinking the body towards the ground. And with every inhalation, imagining the ground is rising up to meet the back of your body. As you exhale, let the body release down. As you inhale, imagining the ground rising to meet you. Breath by breath, melting the body into the ground. And then when you're ready, on an inhalation, drawing the breath awareness at the nostrils, bringing it down through your body all the way to the toes. Allowing the awareness to settle to the toes. Focusing on every toe relaxing, the space between the toes, letting each and every toe soften so that your toes completely relax. Softening the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet and the ankles. Let the feet roll outwards, completely relaxing all parts of the feet and ankles. So that then your relaxation can flow up through the lower legs, wrapping around the shins, softening the calves. bringing up the relaxation into the knees. If there's any tension in the knees, imagining as you exhale that tension is dissipating and being taken by the ground beneath you, being exhaled out by the breath, so that breath by breath the knees completely relax. And as your lower legs release, allowing the relaxation to flow into the large muscles in the upper legs. Very strong muscles that power our legs, the strength of the legs that help to bring the lift to our body and bring us support. Give them this time to completely relax, using the exhalations to soften and relax those large upper leg muscles so that the legs melt into the floor, almost as though the legs are detaching from your body with every exhalation. The pelvis becoming heavy, softening through the reproductive organs. And this time in relaxation, the reproductive organs can find a sense of softness, of rejuvenation. The abdominals relax, allowing that softness to flow into the organs beneath, the urinary organs, the digestive organs. In our time of quietness and peace, our body can find its natural balance. The breath nourishing the organs. Our bodies are so wonderful, in constant change, constant renewal. And as the organs relax, the lower back softens to the floor. Letting go of the lower back, the upper back, the middle back, all begin to soften. Until the entirety of the back has melted into the ground. The heart and the lungs rest back, working with a gentle ease. The shoulders softening to the floor. Use the exhalation to thoroughly relax the shoulders. And as you let go of the shoulders, the arms can flow away with softness, loosening the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, softness into the hands and fingertips, the whole of the arms, the hands and fingers, completely relaxing with every exhalation. And as you let the shoulders relax, the neck can soften towards the ground, relaxing the lining of the throat, bringing a heaviness to the head. letting go of the back of the head, relaxing the scalp, the skull, bringing that softness round through the face, the eyes softening back, relaxing away from the gently closed eyelids, the jaw loose, letting the upper and lower sets of teeth gently part, the tongue soft within the mouth, bringing the awareness to the point just behind the back of the eyebrows, just letting the awareness soften back into the palace of the mind, taking a moment as you breathe to relax into that peaceful expansiveness within. Allowing that sense of expansiveness to connect with the expansiveness of the universe around you. And slowly beginning to connect again with the physicality of your body without opening the eyes, just being aware of your surroundings, aware of your breathing, aware of your body within the space that it's in. Becoming aware of the body as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and create some movement. You might like to create a stronger inhalation, which can help the awareness, the vitality to reawaken. You might like to raise the arms up past the ear, giving the body a big stretch on a deep inhalation. And then letting the arms come by the sides, bringing the knees into the body, having a little squeeze of the knees, gently rock again from side to side. And then let the feet come back down to the floor. When you're ready, softly rolling to the right side and take a couple of resting breaths to that right side, just acknowledging that transition between your time spent relaxing before you re-emerge again. You might like to set an additional intention that as you do move forwards through the rest of your day and onwards, that the peace, the stability that you've cultivated will journey on with you as you go. And once you're ready, gently lifting yourself back up into a seated position. sitting in whatever position feels comfortable to you. We'll take a moment to bring the hands together in front of the body. Let the eyes close, being aware of the breathing. All is well and shall be well. All is well and shall be well. All is well and shall be well. Just letting yourself be with the steady breathing. Knowing that that's there as a tool for you whenever you may need to help to calm and soothe your nervous system, to help release stress and anxiety. There may be everything around us in the world that can change in any moment, but the one thing we have whilst we are here that is always with us is our breath. And if you made an intention or set a positive word, you might like to take a moment to focus upon that now before we complete. Now I'll close our time together with the sounding of the Om. If you'd like to join me at home, please feel free to do so. If you are taking a deep breath in to begin. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have much peace, much love, much happiness. Take care. Have a lovely day. Namaste.